So I had to deep dive a little bit more on this because the Army awarded a $1.2 billion government contract to build the largest detention center we're going to have. And of course, it's going to be in the deserts of Texas. It's going to be a tent city holding up to 5,000 people. They awarded it to a company that doesn't even have a website, has no work in detainment or correctional facilities, and has never managed a project of more than $16 million. They've just been awarded $1.2 billion. No website. The address for this company, which is Acquisitions Logistics LLC, which sounds like a shell company, the address for this company is a retired home of a Navy flight officer in Virginia. So I went over to Ground News because I like to look at the bias distribution. Now, this is a pretty new story, but only 14% are right-leaning sources. But even these right-leaning sources are saying this company doesn't even have a website. Like, they don't have an actual address. And also, how does tents cost $1.2 billion when you can build a major high-rise for that? I have a lot of questions, and the Pentagon did it quickly, they did it rapidly, they did it quietly, and they refused to release the details of the contract. They won't release it. And other bidders have now sued because of how questionable this is. This does not sound ethical at all. And I'm going to stay on Ground News and keep digging into it because what is going on? Where is this money going? It reminds me of the ballroom that there's no way it's going to cost $200 million. Not for a building that size, even a fancy one. I would go to Ground News. Keep an eye on all of these things. You can filter how you get your facts, who owns the articles. You can see what the left versus the right is giving you, so you can get a balanced perspective or see what's being intentionally left out, because that's how we end up with propaganda. And you can go to groundnews.com/Monty to get 40% off their Vantage plan. It comes to about $5 a month. I use it every day. It's the first thing I do. I get up, I have my coffee, I review Ground News, and I check out these articles. And then I can consistently learn who owns what media, so I know who's telling the truth. I know what their intentions are. I know what they're covering up. You should too, because Lord knows it's getting harder and harder to get good information. So go over to Ground News. Let's follow the story and see where this $1.2 billion is going.